Hey, welcome back to another math video. Today I'm going to show you how to multiply rational numbers. We've already learned how to multiply and divide decimals. Now we're going to look at other rational numbers, and you probably see from here, see this example, fractions. Okay, so let's start with two simple fractions. To multiply fractions, you simply multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. However, I wanted to remind you of a way that you can make the problem simpler for yourself, and that is you can cross simplify. Some people call it cross canceling. What that means is you can look at the two numbers diagonally across from each other and ask yourself, can I simplify them? Can I reduce them? Is there a number that goes into both 1 and 3 evenly? That answer is no. But when I look at these two numbers, I can divide them by 2. 2 and 6 are divisible by 2. So I simply cross them out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I made the problem a little simpler for myself, and at the end, my answer will be in simplest form, or reduced terms. So now I'm just going to multiply numerator by numerator, 1 times 1. Denominator by denominator, 3 times 3. And if I've done all my reducing carefully, my cross simplifying, my answer will be in simplest form. Always double check to make sure your answer is in simplest form. As we know, fractions can be negative. So in this example, we see 3/4 times, and they're using parentheses to show the times, -7/9. Negative don't change anything. We just simply are going to remember the rules at the end. A positive multiplied by a negative will give us a negative product. So I'll put that negative sign. And now let's do the multiplication. I'm going to try to cross simplify first. 4 and 7 cannot be reduced. I cannot divide them by any common factor. 3 and 9 can be reduced. I can divide them by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And now I multiply numerator by numerator, 7. 4 times 3, denominator by denominator. And my answer is -7/12. Make sure you're writing down these examples. Hopefully this is a quick review for you. Try these two. Pause the video and unpause when you're finished. All right, let's check your answers. I'm going to go kind of quickly. So 6 and 12 can be reduced. You can divide them by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 and 8 can be reduced as well. You can divide them by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. How'd you do on that one? 1, 8. All right, let's check this one. In this example, you can cross simplify both ways again. 7 and 28 can be reduced by 7. You can divide by 7. So that becomes a 1. That becomes a 4. 15 and 25 can be divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Now I can multiply. 1 times 5. 3 times 4. And 5/12 is my answer there. I would always go back and check my signs, see if I had any negatives. And these were all positive factors, so didn't have any negatives to worry about. So what happens when you have a mixed number multiplied by another mixed number? Nothing changes. We still need to multiply every part of this by every part of this. The shortest and fastest way to do that is to change them to improper fractions and then multiply as we were on the last example. So I'm going to change 2 1/3 to an improper fraction. I do that by just knowing that this is 3/3 and 3/3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and one more would be 7/3. I hope you see that. See, this is 3/3 and 3/3, and one more third is 7/3. Okay, let's take the shortcut here. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 5 is 19. 7s. Okay, so now I've changed them both to, move that down a little bit, improper fractions. I can proceed as I was doing the last example. So I'm going to try to cross simplify. 3 and 19, I can't divide them by anything. 19 is prime, 3 is prime. 7 and 7 can be divided by 7. So that becomes a 1 and that becomes a 1. And now I multiply numerator by numerator. 1 times 19. 3 times 1, denominator by denominator. And at the end, when you multiply mixed numbers, you'll end up with an improper fraction, which we then have to turn back into a mixed number. This is in reduced terms, by the way, but we want to report our answer as a mixed number. So I'm going to divide. I'm going to try to figure out how many 3/3, how many whole numbers can I pull out of this. Easiest way to do that is by dividing 19 by 3. We can probably do this in our head. 3 goes into 19 6 times, because 6 times 3 is 18, with 1 remaining. And when you look at the results I have here, you can see the mixed number. It's 6 wholes and 1/3. 6 and 1/3. Your whole number is your quotient, your remainder is your new numerator, and your denominator is still the same, what you were dividing by your divisor. All right? Why don't you try 2 examples of multiplying mixed numbers. Unpause the video when you're finished. Notice that there's a negative over here, so pay attention to that when you write your final answer. Pause the video and unpause when you're finished, and we'll go over them. Okay, let's check your work. The improper fraction, 3 times 8 is 24, plus 3 is 27/8, times 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. There's my improper fraction. Can't cross simplify here, I can here. That becomes 1, that becomes a 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 8 times 1 is 8. I have an improper fraction, so I'm going to divide. 8 goes into 63 7 times, because 7 times 8 is 56, and 7 remaining. How'd you do? 7 and 7/8 is my answer. Okay, let's check this one. 1 and 5/6 as an improper fraction is 11/6. Oops. 11/6. I'm sorry, my pen is acting up here. 11/6. And that was a negative, so I'll put that down to remember to include that. 5 and 1/7 is 36/7. Now I'm going to cross simplify. I cannot here, but I can divide these by 6. That becomes a 1, and that becomes a 6. Now 11 times 6 is 66. 1 times 7 is 7. And I had a positive times a negative, so I know my final answer is going to be negative. I have an improper fraction here, so I'm going to divide it. Sorry about this. And my board has decided to freeze. And the board needs a break. Ah, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go, it's working again. 66 divided by 7. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it back into a mixed number. 7 goes into 66 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63, so I have 3 remaining. And I'm not going to forget to add my negative. My final answer is -9 and 3/7. How'd you do on those two? All right, we will practice more with multiplying rational numbers as fractions and mixed numbers tomorrow, and I'll see you then.